This is one of the scenes where Patrick Bateman gets portrayed as a Sigma, and this is the scene where Patrick gets seen as a Chad. You know, often people see things at their face value, especially in the world of memes, where of course the purpose is humor, so why should we read into things seriously? On the internet, Patrick Bateman from the 2000 film American Psycho can alternate as being portrayed as the internet archetype Sigma or Chad, depending on which picture of him is used. But I watched the film, and I know for a fact that he is maybe a Chad depending on your opinion, but he is definitely not a Sigma as the internet likes him to be. Let me tell you who Patrick Bateman is. So Patrick Bateman is a banker in 1980s Wall Street, New York. While in the daytime, he lives quite a nice sociable life, but in the nighttime, he is a serial killer because he has psychopathic tendencies where he likes to kill people, dissect them, mutilate them and those bad stuff. Bro's also an egoist and cares so much about trivial things in order to be more cooler than others. Like what year his Gucci cotton polo shirt with embroidery was made in, and surely you know that card scene. Every time he sees that his colleagues' cards are better than his, especially Paul Allen's, his ego is bruised. There's also this scene that everybody knows about, the Sigma ooh face. You know the reason he did that though. In this scene Paul Allen calls Patrick a dork.
That loser Patrick Bateman, what a dork.
Patrick's ego doesn't like this, and so he kills Paul Allen in this famous scene. Now why do people think Patrick is a Sigma and a Chad? Since the 2020s, people have been making edits and memes making Patrick as a Chad. Then in 2022 people start making memes about Patrick's face in that scene, and then people think that is the face of a Sigma. Lots of people know about it. Somebody just said this is the face of a Sigma, and it snowballed from there. Now, let's understand explicitly what Chad and Sigma is. But first, we all should keep in mind that Patrick Bateman being a Sigma cool male is only a shitpost, that me, who is analyzing it seriously, really shouldn't analyze it all, because it is a shitpost. Patrick Bateman is a Sigma, and Sigma is cool. What I'm saying is this video is not meant to take away the fun out of enjoying shitposts. I'm just analyzing by the actual definition of things. Now, in the start of the last decade a blogger named Theodore Robert Bale, also known as Vox Day, made up a male hierarchy, based on Greek letters which he often talks about in his blog, which is gone now. According to this pseudo-scientific male hierarchy by him, that is seen as nonsense by all smart people and is only used humorous purposes, that classifies the types of men in a society. Alpha males, in summary, is the contrast of an insecure unconfident virgin. He is a popular charismatic egoistic muscular man, that is a male who's in society and dominated, as this diagram tells you. He basically is the guy she tells you not to worry about, and he doesn't care how good or bad he is. An alpha male only cares that he is on the top, and likes to rub it into people. But what does a Chad have to do with this? Well, to my insight, I think a Chad is a likable alpha male. An alpha male for fun, an alpha male for the sake of memes. Someone who calls themselves an alpha male most likely isn't fun and likable. In memes, Patrick Bateman is a Chad. But I'm talking seriously about his character in the film. Now on the other hand, a Sigma is somebody who also dominates society without being in it. They're an outcast, introverted, while also seeking to better themselves, following the well-known Sigma grind set, where the Sigma male wakes up at 5 AM every morning, makes his bed, and does a quick jog, exercise and all that. A Sigma tends to not be arrogant, they realize their faults, and they constantly work on it. They are supposedly more nicer and humbler than alphas, and are equal to alpha males, while also being outside of the hierarchy. With this, a Sigma male contradicts an alpha male. Now the contradiction is probably already obvious to you now. An alpha male is extroverted and arrogant, while a Sigma is introverted, humble and realizes his faults. But after watching the film I realized that Patrick Bateman is more like an alpha male than a Sigma, or at least he tries to be. Yes, he follows a sophisticated skincare routine. But Patrick in the film is not really nice, because he's an egomaniac, as you've seen with the card scene, and a Sigma is not supposed to be an egomaniac. To be easily pissed off, and lose their cool when somebody is trivially and frivolously better than you in something like how your cards are. That's the characteristic of an alpha male. A Sigma is supposed to not care how he looks to others, what he is name called as, and what does he not have, and following this definition of Sigma of mine he probably shouldn't kill people, based on these psychopathic and egoistic tendencies. Patrick Bateman is a wealthy New York banker who, like others, cares about these trivial things about where the suits you wear came from, the ties you wear, maybe your perfume and even the style of your nails on how it was freaking clipped. These wealthy bankers always seek to be the top dog over others, and Patrick Bateman is no different. Wait, no, he's actually different, because his ego is easily broken compared to his colleagues. When Patrick's friends see that Paul Allen's card is better, his friends don't have a meltdown over it. This means that they are less egoistic or less childish than Patrick is. Patrick's own obsession over being better in small things than others really show that he is not a Sigma, but more of an alpha male. And that's why his ego got bruised when his cohorts have a better card than his. Patrick does have these virtuous ideas like stopping apartheid, but I don't know if he's being satirical or not, and it's the same with this scene, where Patrick is with a homeless man. The definition of a Sigma male is vague and often misunderstood. Heck, even I might be misunderstanding it too. Some people say that Andrew Tate is a Sigma male, but I think he's more of an alpha male, because of his arrogance and chauvinism. People think John Wick is a Sigma male. I think he is a Sigma male. Thomas Shelby from Peaky Blinders 2 is a Sigma male. Probably because he looks insanely hard in these edits though. So I think the definition that's never gonna be misunderstood by many people is that Sigma is a word for fun, to describe people that you think are cool, likable, and hard. My serious definition of Sigma is that it's someone who's better and nicer than an alpha, because that's the vibes I'm getting. If you're taking the definition of Sigma seriously, you shouldn't. Because Sigma, Alpha, Beta, is actually all just nonsense. Theodore Robert Bale, who made the male hierarchy thing, is a far-right edgelord blogger and a professional internet troll. He is a fascist, white supremacist Christian nationalist and generally an infamous unlikable person on the internet. He probably made this entire thing up so lowly hustling lonely toxic masculine men have a direction in their lives. Smegma males. I'm gonna call guys like these, and Theodore Robert Bale and Andrew Tate and the likes of him a smegma male. Its definition is that it's a really unlikable alpha male that keeps failing to make everybody like them. It's the opposite of a Chad. A Chad is an alpha male that is likable and respectable. A smegma male is the opposite of that. Smegma male. Patrick Bateman in memes is a Chad and a Sigma with his face. However, in the lore of the film he is just an alpha male, at least for me. Maybe the difference between Chad and Sigma is a little confusing for you, but basically a Chad is extroverted and arrogant and Sigma is introverted and humbler, but they're both likable. For the sake of memes they are. Now let's all just have fun with these shit posts like Chadrick Based Man and those insanely hard edits of him just walking.